Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has condemned President Muhammadu Buhari's led government over the level of loans the administration has taken. Obasanjo, in a statement on Sunday, said borrowing for recurrent expenditure is foolish. The elder statesman, in an interview with Channels TV on Facebook, said borrowing and accumulating debt for the next generation to come is criminal. He said, if you want to build a commercial house and you go and borrow money, and you have 50% of your own money, and you borrow 50%, and in 5 years you pay the 50% that you borrowed, that is a wise thing to do. But if you have to go and borrow money for you to be able to feed yourselves and your family, that is a stupid thing to do. So if we are borrowing for recurrent expenditure, it is the height of foolery. If we were borrowing for the development that can pay itself, that is understandable. Then how long will it pay itself? But we are borrowing and accumulating debt for the next generation and the next generation after them. It is criminal, to put it mildly. What are we borrowing for? When I came into government and was elected president, we were spending $3.5 billion to service debt. And even with that, our quantum of debt was not going down. Meanwhile, President Buhari on Tuesday forwarded a letter to the National Assembly seeking its approval to borrow fresh loan. Buhari in the letter urged the National Assembly to approve grant components of $125 million. Borrowing, President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, it's not as if they are borrowing to fix the insecurity, borrowing to fix the health sector, borrowing to fix the education sector, not even infrastructure. The question, yes, the good question Obasanjo asks here, what are we borrowing this money for? What are we actually borrowing it for? Reno Mokri has given us a clear picture of what is going on, or the state at which things are. That during Goodluck Jonathan's tenure, the debt that he left behind, right now, President Muhammadu Buhari's administration has tripled that debt. So the debt has gone up rather than the debt to be reducing. So if we're owing, for instance, 5 billion, rather than that 5 billion to be reducing to say, okay, over the 6 years that I've been in government, we've reduced that 5 billion to like 4 billion. We'll call that progress. We'll know that it's going down. Probably before he leaves, it will get down to 4 or 3 billion. But what he's done, he's tripled it. He's increased the debt. Obasanjo is stating that you are just mortgaging the future of the next generation, putting them into captivity, into bondage. And the people who are borrowing from China, we're just praying very soon. And the sort of clauses in all of these loans. But Buhari doesn't care. Keep borrowing and borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. Obasanjo is stating that borrowing for recurrent expenditure is foolish. Very foolish. Buhari has just put a letter to the National Assembly for yet another loan. Yet another loan. But the National Assembly is controlled by President Muhammad Buhari. These guys cannot even question Buhari's actions. They cannot question his spendings. That is why Nigerians refer to even the Senate as Buhari's Senate. Ahmed Lawan, never a time have we seen him questioning President Muhammad Buhari or saying no or refusing anything. Never, never at a time. He always, anything he gives go ahead. So it's truly, truly worrying. But I know Nigerians still look at Obasanjo to say these guys, they all had their own share in dragging the economy of the country down. So he's left power now, but when he was in power, he contributed as well to what we are experiencing right now. But Buhari has been the worst so far, to the extent that he doesn't even care. If we take a look at the healthcare sector alone, people are dying on a daily basis. Very, very sad. Hospitals are not equipped. They are not even properly regulated. You see cases where doctors just do whatever they like. No one is regulating them to ensure that such thing does not occur again. Things are just done anyhow. It's just so sad. What about the education system? Whatever, even the roads are not good. Insecurity. So there is so much to be done that can put this country in good shape. But Buhari borrows for, he just borrows. I think he just wakes up and say, you know what, the debt, it's not high enough. We just need to increase it. It needs to keep going. Obasanjo, as an elder statesman, to him is stating that it is foolish. He's put it clear in clear terms that borrowing for recurrent expenditure is foolish. And this one, he's directing it to President Muhammad Buhari, because we know that Buhari recently forwarded a letter to the National Assembly before he left the country. He's gone to the US right now for the UN summit. He's got his speech, he's got an address to give. Now, I know Nigerians are waiting earnestly to hear what he's going to say. Those are speeches that are written for him that he does not even connect with. It looks as though it's a robot that is reading those speeches. Well, Obasanjo is saying it in clear terms that this thing is foolishness. Most probably, he's stating it so that the eyes of members of the National Assembly will be open. Whatever is covering their eyes, let their eyes be open and know fully whether this is wickedness, this is evil, to be doing this to the nation, to be doing this to a country. Buhari's tenure will be ending very soon. And what is it transferring to the next leadership? You know, he's always played the blame game. The issues we're facing right now, it wasn't caused by him. He met all the problems here. But what contribution have you made? Let's even assume that you met all of those problems. What is your own effort towards pulling the country out of the state where it is? You know, this was one thing Obaseki, the governor of Edo State, raised alarm about, that the direction that this country is going is truly worrying and concerning, raising a lot of concern that Buhari's government is just printing money to share to governors. We saw the way Buhari took it, his administration, they called it a lie. But Governor Baseki stood by his claims. He said, I stand by my claims. We went to Abuja, they printed money to share. How can an economy, how can a country be printing money to share? That is not the way out. Printing money to share. Truly terrible. So those are all of the things he specializes in: print money to share, and keep borrowing and borrowing, dragging the country backwards with no contribution. His administration doesn't contribute anything. Rather, he drags us backward. And the next thing, he begins to play the blame game that all we are facing right now, it wasn't his fault. It was from past administration. 6 years has not been enough for him to contribute even one thing. He's been in power for 6 years and he's not been able to contribute anything. Well, guys, let's hear your take regarding what Obasanjo just stated, what he just said to President Muhammadu Buhari. Thank you once again for staying tuned. Please don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe. Till I come your way again with more updates. Bye.